leaders and BJP leaders. The Supreme Court will now be hearing the plea that's been filed by Aam Aadmi Party regarding the mayoral elections tomorrow. But before we go to that piece of breaking news, we are showing you visuals of these protests as the BJP and Aam Aadmi Party workers and leaders have taken to the streets again, talking about the delay in the mayoral elections in the national capital despite winning a mandate in the MCD polls and dislodging the BJP after 15 years of rule in the MCD. Aam Aadmi Party still hasn't been able to get a mayor when it comes to the Delhi Assembly, and that is the big cause of concern for both the BJP and the Aam Aadmi Party. Remember, BJP has been claiming that despite that loss at the MCD polls, the mayor game is still an open game. So this sort of a tussle is continuing. The street fight is now back to the streets as there are protests happening. These are Aam Aadmi Party workers who are accusing the BJP of stalling the proceedings to elect Delhi its mayor. This is outside the BJP office where this protest is being witnessed. We will try and get our colleagues on ground to get us a sense of what exactly is happening, but we do see barricades that have been put up outside the BJP office in the national capital, and we see Aam Aadmi Party workers sloganeering, protesting, having placards and banners in their hands, calling the BJP, accusing the BJP of stalling the elections, the mayoral elections, which have not been allowed to happen for the third time, as the Delhi Assembly was adjourned sine die amid unruly scenes. We can see that the protests are back on the streets as the battle for MCD mayor continues. AAP is staging that massive stir. This is outside the BJP headquarters in the national capital. And this, of course, after those unruly scenes in the Delhi Assembly yesterday. Remember, there was also a plea before the Supreme Court that was earlier filed by Shelley Oberoi, who was the mayoral candidate of the Aam Aadmi Party, in the wake of how the mayor elections are not being allowed to happen. But considering there was a date, that was the February 6th that was given, the plea was withdrawn by Aam Aadmi Party. Now we're told that there was a fresh plea after the proceedings really could not take place yesterday as well. That is on February 6th. Another plea has been filed before the Supreme Court, and we are told that the Supreme Court will be hearing that plea tomorrow. Right now, concentrating on these protests that are happening outside the BJP headquarters in the national capital, my colleague Anshul is with us on the broadcast. Anshul, it's back to where it all started. 3 attempts at selecting a mayor, none of them successful. Now the Aam Aadmi Party workers are back on the streets, and this time right outside the BJP office.
Well, definitely the battle of perception that we have seen fighting between the BJP and the Aam Aadmi Party, that continues. I am currently standing outside the gates of Aam Aadmi Party, where the workers of the Aam Aadmi Party have been stopped by the Delhi police. They are not being allowed to march ahead. Now remember, the headquarters of the BJP is approximately 200 to 300 meters away from here, and they have already been stopped. Now if you see the pushing and pulling between the police officials and the Aam Aadmi Party workers who are trying to cross this barricade is continuously going on. On one hand, just a few meters away from here, the BJP is also protesting against the Aam Aadmi Party, and the Aam Aadmi Party here is protesting against the BJP. But yes, that both the demands of these parties remain the same, that the mayor elections should happen. So yes, definitely this is a battle of perception that is being fought at this point in time. On one hand, where the Aam Aadmi Party has been saying that the BJP is not allowing the house to function and is not subscribing to the rules of the house. On the other hand, the BJP has been saying that the Aam Aadmi Party is actually trying to disrupt the house so that the mayoral elections could not happen. Although both of these parties are demanding the same thing, but yes, this battle of perception is continuously being fought on the streets of the national capital. If you see here that the pushing and pulling between the police officials and the Aam Aadmi Party workers have started. Approximately 300 to 400 workers have gathered over here just to put this point across, that the manner in which the house is not being allowed to function, the mayoral elections are not being allowed to happen. That is something that is unconstitutional, and hence that should not happen.
All right, Anshul, stay on with us. My colleague Nikhil is also joining us from the national capital. Nikhil, just take our viewers through exactly where you are at, considering these protests continue, and from the unruly scenes in the parliament, it's now spilled onto the streets where the Aam Aadmi Party workers are protesting outside the BJP headquarters.
Near the ITO, near the Aam Aadmi Party office, where the workers of the Bharatiya Janata Party, they are protesting in huge numbers. This is the protest against the Aam Aadmi Party for the disruption in the services, disruption in the proceedings of the House, and disruption also for not, coordinating and cooperating in the selection of the mayor process. So there are allegations which are being made by both the sides. On one side, the workers of the Aam Aadmi Party, the leaders of the Aam Aadmi Party, they are in fact surrounding the BJP headquarters. But on the other side, near the Aam Aadmi Party office, you can see that these are the councillors of the BJP who have recently won the election. And just because the selection of the mayor is still incomplete, this is the reason why the anger is there from the BJP side as well. So currently, there is presence of BJP working president Viren Sachdeva. There is also presence of AAP Ramveer Singh Bidhuri, and now in the visuals you can see many of the councillors who have recently won the election, because if we go by the number, Graham, 104 is the number which is with the Bharatiya Janata Party, and the leaders of the BJP are saying that their councillors are being approached by Aam Aadmi Party, and the leaders of the Aam Aadmi Party, they are trying to purchase, they are trying to trade the councillors from their side. So we will try to speak to some of the leaders of the BJP who are currently protesting here. We are joined by AAP Ramveer Singh Bidhuri. Sir, आज आप प्रोटेस्ट कर रहे हैं, 2 महीने हो गए हैं, 7 दिसंबर को चुनाव का रिजल्ट आया था, कब जाके मेयर का प्रोसेस बनेगा? आप लोग यहाँ बैठे हैं, वहाँ पे थोड़ी दूरी पे आम आदमी वाले प्रोटेस्ट कर रहे हैं, दिल्ली की जनता माने तो किसकी बात माने?
देखिए, हम तो इसी मांग को लेकर आज आए हैं। श्री वीरेंद्र सचदेवा की लीडरशिप में सभी हमारे काउंसलर, सभी हमारे विधायक कि मेयर का, डिप्टी मेयर का चुनाव कराया जाए। उसमें लगातार आम आदमी पार्टी के पार्षद, उनके विधायक उसमें बाधा उत्पन्न कर रहे हैं। पहली बैठक बुलाई गई, तब पीठासीन अधिकारी के ऊपर हमला हुआ, मेज तोड़ दी गई, कागज फाड़ दिए गए, माइक तोड़ दिया गया, पार्षदों के ऊपर जानलेवा हमला किया।
बिधूड़ी साहब, मैं आपको रोक रहा हूँ, माफी चाहता हूँ। सेम आरोप तो आम आदमी पार्टी भी लगा रही है ना, तो विश्वास किस पे किया जाए? जनता किस पे विश्वास?
अरे भाई, आप बताइए, जो पहली बैठक हुई थी तो पार्षदों को ओथ लेने से किसने रोका? दूसरी बार बैठक बुलाई तो तब भी इन्होंने बाधा उत्पन्न की, और कल भी पीठासीन अधिकारी ने आदेश दिया है कि जो नॉमिनेटेड मेंबर्स हैं, वो इस हाउस के मेंबर हैं, उनको वोट का देने का अधिकार है, तो वो वोट देंगे। आखिर आम आदमी पार्टी के जो विधायक और काउंसलर्स हैं, वो नॉमिनेटेड मेंबर्स को वोट देने से कैसे रोक रहे हैं? क्योंकि वो इस हाउस के मेंबर हैं, रोका नहीं जा सकता है। तो ये गैर कानूनी काम उनके द्वारा किया जा रहा, बार बार किया जा रहा है, और उसके पीछे कारण ये है कि आम आदमी पार्टी के पार्षदों में इस बात को लेकर अरविंद केजरीवाल से बड़ी शिकायत है कि जो उन्होंने मेयर और डिप्टी मेयर के लिए आम आदमी पार्टी के उम्मीदवारों का जो उन्होंने चयन किया है, वह गलत है। और अरविंद केजरीवाल को जानकारी है कि यदि चुनाव होगा तो उस चुनाव में मेयर और डिप्टी मेयर जो आम आदमी पार्टी के उम्मीदवार हैं, वे चुनाव हार जाएंगे।
बिधूड़ी जी, आप 15 साल आपकी सरकार काबिज रही है एमसीडी में। अब आप बताइए, आसान भाषा में, जनता आपको CNN न्यूज 18 के माध्यम से सुन रही है, कितना नुकसान इस कारण जनता को उठाना पड़ रहा है? कुछ चीजें रुकी भी हुई है, जैसा कि पता चला।
इसके लिए हम लोग तो आज आए हैं ना, वीरेंद्र सचदेवा जी की लीडरशिप में ये मांग करने के लिए कि अरविंद केजरीवाल मेयर डिप्टी मेयर का चुनाव होने दीजिए। आखिर बार बार वो चुनाव से क्यों भाग रहे हैं? और मैं बार बार कह रहा हूं कि उसके पीछे कारण ये है कि आम आदमी पार्टी के पार्षदों में मेयर और डिप्टी मेयर के लिए जो उम्मीदवार अरविंद केजरीवाल ने चुने हैं, उसको लेकर बड़ा भारी मतभेद है।
ओके, सो वी आर आल्सो ज्वाइंड